Hey folks, welcome to Truck King. This is a 2024 Chevy Silverado High Country Midnight Edition, and that is Oshawa Assembly where this truck was built. In this video, we're gonna head inside of Oshawa Assembly and we're gonna see how these Silverados come together. Let's start by taking a quick look back at the General Motors Oshawa Assembly Plant, which opened as we know it today on November 7th, 1953. Now, before 1953, the facility produced McLaughlin Buicks as early as 1918. So this plant has been building vehicles in Oshawa for over 100 years. During its first year of full production in 1953, the plant produced Pontiac, Chevrolet, and Buick models, and Oshawa has the distinction of producing every model of General Motors full-size pickup trucks throughout the decades. Oshawa was also a big part of the war effort here in Canada, producing all sorts of tanks, armored vehicles, and trucks. At its peak in the 1980s, 23,000 people went to work at the Oshawa Assembly Plant, but over the years that slowly dwindled down, and in 2019, GM announced that Oshawa Assembly would close its doors for good as part of a global restructuring. 2 short years later in 2021, though, GM announced a brand new $1.2 billion injection back into Oshawa to get the plant running again to build Silverado pickup trucks. And just 1 year later, they had the plant prepared, one of the fastest launches in the history of GM. The latest news at Oshawa is that $280 million has already been committed to build the next generation of Silverado at the plant, so truck production should be here for quite a while. Now let's go ahead and take a look inside this historic plant and see how a brand new Chevy Silverado comes together. We'll start in the body shop where the raw metal comes ready to be put together into the cab, bed, doors, and more. More than 1,000 robots are put to work at the Oshawa Assembly Plant, welding, joining, and moving pickup trucks from building to building. One of the best views in the body shop is from one of the overhead catwalks where we had a chance to see a roof assembly come together on the Silverado. Now you can see all these robots working in unison, with one arm bringing structural ribs across while the other arm prepares to weld them in place. And as they roll out of this section, the roof is now fully assembled. One unique feature of Oshawa Assembly today is that it builds both light-duty and heavy-duty versions of the Silverado on the same production line. So if you pay attention in this video, you're going to see both light-duty, half-tons, and heavy-duty Silverados. Now on the half-ton model, the swing panels, like the door and hood, are made from aluminum. So instead of welds, these pieces are held together by industrial adhesives, and GM actually told us that these are stronger in most cases than steel welds are. Quality control is, of course, a big part of the process, and in the body shop, it's performed by both robots and humans. First, you have a machine that you can see here measuring every single square inch of that truck body to make sure everything is precisely correct with only the slightest variations allowed. If an issue is spotted by the robot, a separate body that has already been checked is ready at a moment's notice to be swapped into the line to make sure things keep on running smoothly. Now, robots are great, but a human eye is still necessary in some cases, and here you'll see a worker responsible for checking the raw doors for fitment and imperfections in the metal. Now, she told us she'll do about 17 doors a day, and they're pulled from the line randomly to undergo inspection. Ergonomics and keeping workers healthy and safe is always an important part of any production facility, and you can see here the robotic arms used by workers to lift heavy pieces such as the doors and move them in place. Well, folks, now we're here right at the end of the body assembly line. So you can see these bodies and beds behind us. They're going to go up into the ceiling, across a bridge, over to the paint shop. It's been really fun getting this tour today, seeing the truck production. I think, first of all, as Canadians, we love seeing production coming back to Canada, and we love seeing trucks produced here. And then the other thing I've been really noticing, Dad, and you can talk about this too, is the history of the plant, how many times this plant has changed. It's produced so many things over the year. So it's interesting to see what it's doing today, and then think about all the different things it's done in the past. And constantly there's little, reminders that it's been many different things.
Oh,
so
absolutely.
That's what I keep noticing walking around.
Yeah, I mean, basically the shell of the buildings, late 40s, 1950s. And what I noticed today is as you're walking around, every time you look at the floor, you see where all the bolt heads have been cut off. And it tells you how many times the line has been changed, equipment has been added, things have been removed. When this place was built, there wasn't any robots in here. And of course today, so much of everything that's being done is robots. And what that does is precision, economy of scale. But the other big deal when you mention truck production here is that this is the only GM line that produces heavy duties and half tons on the same line. And that versatility means that Oshawa is going to be around for hopefully another 100 years.
And that is one of the most amazing things to see. As you say, you see an HD diesel rolling on right in front of a gas light-duty truck. So just all of that coming together is really cool to see.
Each one has got a build sheet, taped right to it, so that one that you ordered at the dealer is being built to your specification. The next one is different, the next one is different, but it all means that things are moving along quicker and hopefully they get to you faster.
Yeah, exactly. So basically all the Silverados are built here in Oshawa, crew cab models. The only thing they don't build here are the lifted models, so anything with that factory lift. But outside of that, every single Silverado rolls off here.
Unless you want an 8-foot bed.
Oh, also true.
Because that's what I'm looking for, and I guess I have to go to Flint.
But we should say, I thought it was interesting, they mentioned to us, if you're a Canadian and you purchase a Silverado, it will likely come from here. They try to keep the Canadian trucks in Canada, although it is true about 90% of what's put out here will go south to the United States. Now you can see the trucks have been through the paint shop and they arrive at general assembly, where all of the other systems are installed to the body, things like the wiring, the HVAC routing, the entire dash, and the related electronic systems. You'll notice the bed and the tailgate haven't been matched together yet, and the doors have also been removed again for ease of access. Those parts will continue their journey at a different part of the plant, waiting to be married together again. And here you can see a completed frame, fit with a full powertrain, ready to receive a cab and bed. And now you can watch it all come together. Easily the most impressive machines to watch in the plant are the robots that bring together the cab and bed onto the frame with precise movements, perfect each and every time. Oshawa Assembly is actually the only full-size truck plant that marries a cab and a box and a frame using just robotic automation. The robot does the entire thing, including tightening all the fasteners, so when it leaves here, this truck is nearly fully assembled. Well, Thorsten, thanks so much for having us out to the plant today. I think, again, as Canadians, we love that there's Chevrolet pickup trucks being produced here in Ontario. So can you just speak a little bit about what does it mean to, the province of Ontario, the country of Canada, and the city of Oshawa to have truck production come back to this facility?
Well, Steve, it's absolutely wonderful. Our employees are just, as you met, just absolutely stunning, super engaged, and they just want to do what's right for the customer. Everything we do here is about quality, what it means for the local economy. We employ over 3,200 employees, wow. 1 out of every 7 jobs after that, so it's great for the local economy. We're producing heavy-duty trucks, light-duty trucks, we're in high demand, so for the province of Ontario and for the country, it just means jobs and benefits for everybody.
So you touched on something right there, the fact that you guys build both light duty and heavy duty on the same line. That's unique. Can you just maybe speak to some of the challenges that arise when you're trying to sort of mix up the line like that, or just sort of how that kind of came together where you're building both body styles?
So the big, huge advantage of building both body styles is that we can adapt very quickly to our customer demands. So if the heavy duty demand goes one way, we can swing and build that. Light duty goes the other way, we swing back the other way. So that adds some complexity to the factory, but we have a highly skilled workforce able to adapt quickly. Our tooling's been designed to do that, and we're just able to pivot on a dime to meet our consumers' demands.
We're now nearing the end of the line where fully assembled trucks get their final touches. You'll notice every truck you see here is either white, black, or gray, and GM did tell us that, not surprisingly, those are the 3 most popular shades on the Silverado. Furthermore, if you're wondering, about 65% of heavy duty sold are 2500s, while just 35% are made up of 3500s. Now the trucks will roll into final validation, where they are gone over once again by both man and machine. We actually got to ride inside one of the trucks being tested on the dyno to see the process firsthand. A computer screen instructs the worker in the driver's seat on exactly what to do, generally being asked to bring the wheels up to a certain speed and then to brake either slowly or aggressively. Once checked, the truck is released and it will roll through final inspection, which is done by workers who try to put themselves in the customer's shoes to find any issues that an end user would notice. And now you know how they build them. Well, here is the finished product. And it was really cool going from one day to a raw truck coming in one end of the factory and then driving away from Oshawa in this thing. Now, there's one little tidbit I just want to share with you guys, just in case you don't know. If you want to know where your vehicle was built, you can look at your VIN. That's your vehicle identification number. Generally, it's right up here on the bottom corner of your windshield. Now, if you want one of the trucks that you saw in the video today, your VIN has to start with the number 2. That signifies that it comes from Canada. If that VIN starts with the number 1, then it's from the United States. If it starts with a number 3, it's from Mexico. If it starts with a J, it comes from Japan, and then every different country has its own code. So if you've ever wondered, hey, where was my vehicle built? Go outside, look at the VIN, and look at the very first digit, and that'll let you know. And of course, again, if you're looking for one of these Oshawa trucks, you're looking for a 2, and that's what we have on our high country today. Well, folks, we have come to the end of this one. I hope you have enjoyed your tour of Oshawa Assembly as much as we have. I mean, we are Canadians, so we're happy to see truck production back here in Ontario, where we think it belongs. So like I said, that's it for this one. I hope you enjoyed the tour. Make sure you go below. Let us know what you think of the Silverado and Oshawa Assembly. While you're down there, don't forget to hit like, hit subscribe, hit join to become a member of Truck King, and then come right back here to the channel to see what we're testing next. See ya.